One of the biggest questions I get from my clients is, why do homes come back on the market? You see it on Zillow or someone sends you an MLS listing and it's gone pending. The one that you wanted has gone pending. And then a few weeks later, it's back on the market. So what is all that about? That's what we're talking about today, and we are starting right now. Hi there, what is up? I'm Kathy Williams, your friend in real estate here in Orlando, and today we're answering the burning question of why do homes come back on the market? Is this a sign that the market is slowing down? Is this a sign that the market is shifting in some way? So basically, if you were to ask me this question a year or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 years ago, I would say the number one reason homes come back on the market are due to financing issues. That would have been the answer for sure. But now that situation has changed a little bit. Right now, I would say the number one reason that homes come back on the market is due to buyer's remorse. And the reason for that is because right now people are going way over asking price on homes, and they may win the contract and they're all super excited, and then the next day they're thinking, oh my gosh, I went way over my budget. I should not have gone that high. I got caught up in the frenzy, and now I'm looking at a mortgage way more than I should be spending, or now I'm supposed to try to come up with money out of pocket for this, or why did I spend that much money for that house? Because really, is it worth it? Am I making a huge mistake here? I should be spending that much on this particular house. So for various reasons, also the other reason, the dirty little secret reason, is that people are putting offers on more than one home to see which one they get. And so maybe that particular home, well, they got the other home that they wanted, so now they're not gonna go through with this home, so they cancel that contract. So that's also one of the reasons, but definitely buyer's remorse is the number one reason. And then once you get the home under contract, you are going to do an inspection, right? And so during the inspection, if something came up that was unexpected, some big ticket item, maybe an air conditioner, air handler, the roof, maybe there's some big ticket item, plumbing issue or something like that that's come up, that you may say, well, wow, I don't really want to move forward with this home with this big additional expense after I've already paid, over asking price. Now I'm supposed to come up with an additional $10,000 for HVAC or $20,000 for a roof. You would want to go back to the seller and try to renegotiate and try to negotiate either a credit at closing or lowering the price of the home or some sort of credit like that in order to help compensate for that big expense. And if the sellers, right now sometimes the sellers are just being hard-headed and they don't want to fix anything. They don't want to give any concessions. And so then the buyer might say, well, then I'm canceling. And during the inspection period, of course, you have the opportunity to cancel contract. So then guess what? It's going back on the market. And then that's another reason why homes come back on the market. So the next thing that comes up on the list when you're under contract is the appraisal. And maybe the appraisal comes in low, even lower than you were hoping it would come in, and you can't bring that much cash to the table. And again, it's a negotiation period. You can negotiate with the seller and try to get them to adjust the price, but many times they don't want to do that because, again, people think this market, they can just do whatever. And so another reason why it might go back on the market, and then the buyer will walk and the seller has to put it back on the market. So those are kind of the top reasons. Then I would actually put in the fourth position financing. So again, sometimes homes do come on the market still in this market due to financing issues. If they lose their job or if they decide to go out and buy a new car right before closing or something like that, then their score is going to change and the lender might say, no, we can't fund this loan. So there is still financing, but what's happening with most good listing agents are really digging in deep with offers. And if they're going to accept your offer, they're going to have called your lender just to make sure, that you are a solid buyer. So we're not seeing as much of financing even being the reason why homes are coming back on the market at this time. So if you do see a home that comes back on the market that you were interested in, this is an opportunity perhaps to be able to negotiate. So what you want to do is you want to ask your realtor to go ahead and speak to the listing agent and find out why. Why did it come back on the market? And that can give you some insight into how you could structure your offer. And it may be a potential, opportunity opportunity there to get the home at a better price. Or if you see a home that maybe has sat on the market too long, if it's on the market in this time that we're in right now with real estate, if it's on the market for more than 3 weeks, people really wonder what is wrong with this house. And I can tell you from what I've seen out there, if a home sits on the market too long, it is typically because it's been overpriced from the beginning. So if people come in and kind of market way too high at the beginning and then they keep having to discount and discount and discount, well, even 3 discounts over a 3-week period, it's going to make people think there's something wrong with the house, and there's probably absolutely nothing wrong with the house. It's just been overpriced. So that's another question. If you see a home that's been on the market for more than 3 weeks, ask your realtor to dig in and find out where was it priced originally, because it may be just that it was overpriced and people are turned off from that. So now they're going to come back and be willing to look at some other types of offers. So that's another consideration in this market that you can try to work to help find a house. So let me know in the comments below if you've been looking for a house for a long time and you've seen something come back in the market. What has been your experience? And also, please feel free to download my relocation guide. It's in the information box below, and check out my next video that's coming up in just a few minutes.